You're listening to Amazing Radio. This is Amazing Afternoons. The sessions and interviews do not stop. However, we are approaching Christmas, so this is a bit of an early Christmas treat for everyone. We've got Dylan Hughes on the line now from YNYS, who give us a brilliant debut record this year. Dylan, how are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you very much. Where do we join you from this afternoon?
From cold but sunny Aberystwyth.
Yeah, that's kind of like the opposite to where I am. You're in like West Wales, aren't you? I'm in the northeast of
Yeah.
England here. It is sunny today for the first time in a little while, but it's been very cold. We've got snow on the ground. Have you got snow where you are?
Yeah, some snow, mainly ice. So yeah, it's a bit dangerous out there.
Very dangerous. So we're going to stay inside and enjoy some music. You've done a session for us as well. We're going to hear them very soon. You've done 2 tracks for us. But I want to talk about you and your music. I do believe we may have crossed paths in a previous life, Dylan, when you were with racehorses. Do you think we did?
I was thinking about this. I think we may have played a festival in Amsterdam with Frankie and the Heartstrings.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we did.
I
It
had a
was
vague
called,
memory.
yeah,
Yeah.
London Calling. Is that the
Yes.
one? I may be making things up here, but yeah, I've got some recollection of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I distinctly kind of remember being in the basement of the Paradiso venue, I think, which is like a massive
Oh,
church for
yeah.
anyone just know it. Yeah, and remember bumping into it. And I think we might have even shared a drink at the time as well. So it was a long time ago though, but nice memories. Anyway, we're here to talk about YNYS, which is your project, and I understand you've been trying to get this project, especially your first record, done for a number of years, and it finally happened, didn't it?
Yeah, so we kind of had big plans kind of the start of 2020 to try and get it all together in a few months, but obviously yeah, with COVID and everything, that kind of got delayed. But it was nice to have that sort of time to kind of hone in on a couple of songs and to finish stuff. But yeah, kind of mainly recorded it last year and yeah, finished everything off start of this year and finally got it out. Yeah, start of November. So yeah, it's taken a while, but we got there in the end.
I love it. It's really quite an ambitious record in terms of the vastness of the sound on there. There's loads of reference points I could pull out, but obviously there's going to be some Welsh reference points as well. But I think that it's the strings and the kind of the grandeur of it all, which I think it's kind of synonymous though with Welsh bands. And we've been playing H Hawkline's recent single. I grew up on Super Furry Animals and stuff like that. And Colorama, we've been playing a lot of Colorama as well over recent times here at Amazing. But you all seem to just throw the kitchen sink at it. It's got everything on there.
Yeah, yeah. There's certainly a bit of that. It's not a kind of you know understated, stripped back album. It's kind of yeah, it's a kind of slippery slope, seeing if things work or not. And but yeah, I always wanted with a kind of first record a kind of yeah opportunity to have things like strings and a kind of yeah really into that kind of mellotron sounds as well. So yeah, there's something I quite like about that kind of cinematic thing that certain bands do. So yeah, this was my attempt.
Well, it worked. It really did work. It really connected with me. Pretty much, it's a pretty split. It's a pretty good split of Welsh and English on the record. Are you conscious of how much you can do in Welsh? I mean, we've seen artists release, of course, all the records in Welsh. But are you conscious, or are you just are you able to express different feelings and emotions better in Welsh? Is that why, maybe?
Yeah, and I think it wasn't really a kind of a deliberate decision. I kind of wrote the songs over such a kind of long period of time. It was, yeah, bringing them all together. Yeah, it happened to be quite equal, Welsh and English. I find it sometimes it can be, you know, helpful to switch things up. If you hit a wall in, either language, it's a bit like kind of using a different guitar pedal. Sometimes, okay, we'll kind of put it in reverse and try a different route. And sometimes that can be kind of helpful to kind of unlocking some idea of a song.
Well, we're going to hear one of your tracks now you did for us, Newid. You probably pronounce it a lot better than me, but that's one of the Welsh tracks on the record. I think we should just hear it, if that's all right, and then we'll come back and chat about it.
Yn yr oriau man, chwarae sŵn y gwynt y glaw, a thannu'r arian man, am freuddwydio fel o'n i arfer cael. Sgerbwd adeiladau tal, diolch am eich adborth chi, steddwch chi lawr. Chwarae o newyddion dy fi. Fi sylwi ar y ffordd ni'n newid, a does dim byd yn aros yr un peth. O dad o'r clymau a ddod yn un ddarnau man, a fi'n sefyll o'n yr arfeilion, beth o'n y byd. Hysbysebion sydd yn dadgan, cynlluniau anferth sydd yn dod yn fuan iawn, ac gadael I nhw ennill, neu torri dy ysbryd di. Fi sylwi ar y ffordd ni'n newid, a does dim byd yn aros yr un peth. O dad o'r clymau a ddod yn un ddarnau man, a fi'n sefyll o'n yr arfeilion, beth o'n y byd.
So YNYS is in session for us right now. That was Newid, a track recorded especially for us. And I guess when you're making a record, as we said earlier, with such grandeur and lots of different textures going on there, you've got to have to pull in a few favors then if you're going to do it live.
Yeah, that's the problem. We kind of recently kind of expanded to a 6-piece, which is great sonically, but kind of logistically brings difficulties. But it's exciting, and it's I'm lucky to to know a few people that kind of really helped with the record. Yeah, it was great having that opportunity.
So is it similar people who played on the record who are playing in the live setup as well?
Yeah, so everybody who plays with us live played on the record. Yeah, 6 of us, and then pulled in some favours from Steve Black, Sweet Baboo, who played some saxophone.
I think he plays on. If anyone releases a record from Wales, he has to play on it. Is that the law or something?
It is. It's one of those things. So yeah, he helped out, and yeah, it was really added to I think 2 or 3 tracks on the album, and I had a friend Griff as well who did some string arrangements for a couple of tracks, which was great because that's definitely a world outside my kind of comfort zone, my knowledge. So it was great to have him.
So I imagine, are these people who live near you then in Aberystwyth? Then is there much of a kind of supportive scene there? I guess I know in previous years you lived in Cardiff, which of course is the epicenter of the arts, I guess, in Wales. But how is it where you are? And are you quite able to get on with your project as yourself there?
To be honest, yeah, because I kind of only fairly recently moved to Aberystwyth. I kind of most of YNYS activities tend to be based in Cardiff, which is a bit of a drive, but it's kind of there's a few gigs, few new venues in Aberystwyth. Hopefully next year. Looking forward to seeing some stuff. But yeah, it's things mainly tend to happen for us in Cardiff just because where everybody lived. But we've got the Arts Centre in Aberystwyth, so you do get the odd kind of quite big artist there, which is nice. We did a gig recently in Aberystwyth, the first time for kind of years, and that was great. Kind of a really small pub, and brought back a lot of memories from my youth.
Fantastic stuff. Before we get the next track, Nothing to See, I want to ask you about the record and who you recorded it with, where, and some of the processes behind it.
So it was mainly recorded in Cardiff, in Grangetown, with Frank Norton, who is an engineer and a producer who's worked with a lot of Welsh bands over the past sort of 20 years. He's got a sort of a studio in his house kind of set up. So a lot of it was done there, quite live, and we were lucky. It's the kind of studio where there's always a synthesizer or an old, random instrument, and you get kind of have a tea break or something, and you get into conversation. So what does this one do? And before you finished your cuppa, he's got it set up, and it's running through various amps and things. So a lot of the kind of sounds were kind of pretty off the cuff, to be honest. I did a session in North Wales in Sea Studios, which is quite a legendary studio up in North Wales, with kind of with a string quartet just for a day. It was a kind of a bit grand, but worked well, I thought. So that's where we recorded it.
It's fantastic. It sounds really lush. The record, the textures on there. There must be so many tracks on some of the level. Some of the tracks have got so many different layers, and I imagine a lot of time and like you say, it's good to have other ears on it as well. You can tell that there's been a lot of people kind of like involved in the record as well. But ultimately it comes out like a great record, a great debut, and we're going to hear another track from it right now. Nothing to See. Do you want to give us a little bit of an idea of the inception of this song, or maybe some of the content lyrically, what's it all about?
Yeah, so yeah, it was one of those things. One day I had this sort of title, and it was sort of around the time I sort of we made the decision. All right, okay, we're gonna move back to Aberystwyth, somewhere I'd sort of left about 15 years earlier, and yeah, I was fortunate. It doesn't really happen that often, but the lyrics came together quite quickly, and yeah, a lot of it's kind of maybe looking back, it's and yeah, bit of nostalgia. It's hard, kind of. There's always kind of memories on every kind of corner you turn. You kind of, all right, okay, yeah, this happened here, and it's and it's a song, I suppose, for a lot of people that kind of, especially in kind of West Wales and Aberystwyth, people, move away. So it's got that kind of perspective to it as well.
No, it's wonderful. And we're going to hear it right now. This is a very special version of Nothing to See from YNYS here on Amazing Radio.
Will I ever get that Friday night thrill? Will I ever stop worrying? Sunrise suffers, old postcard salads, kicking the bar, renting films from the spot. Moonlight mountains, old wave call, artwork hanging on faraway walls. It never leaves you, wherever you may call your home. If you ever feel alone, there's nothing the sea doesn't know. There's nothing the sea doesn't know. Are you catching my drift? Do you know what I mean? Old boyfriends you see sometimes, drifting apart with the old exiles. Go stray Novembers, South Beach summers, fresh as weed, falling on the street. It never leaves you, wherever you may call your home. If you ever feel alone, there's nothing the sea doesn't know. 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 Are you catching my drift? Do you know what I There's nothing the sea doesn't know.
So that was Nothing to See, a beautiful track, a wonderful session from YNYS here on Amazing Radio. Dylan's on the line as well, Dylan Hughes, the man behind YNYS. So I guess we're going to ask now what your plans are for 2023.
Hopefully, kind of start to play live as much as possible, really. We've got a couple of dates kind of in January, but hopefully kind of, filling the calendar for a busy live 2023. And I think kind of starting recording the difficult second album. So I've, got a few ideas, but haven't played them to the rest yet. So, don't know what the opinion will be, but hopefully, starting to record and play live as much as we can.
I guess in terms of ambitions and goals, it's always nice to see your work reflected where you go and listen to music or where you go and see music. So I don't know, would you be up for, if the record was in the conversation for the Welsh Music Prize, or maybe you get to play Green Man, that kind of thing?
Yeah, well, that would be amazing. Green Man is a festival that YNYS hasn't played, but I was fortunate in previous band to play it a couple of times. And I really want to go this year, so it'd be nice if we could play it.
It's always the best way to get into festivals, isn't it? Just to be in a band.
Yeah. But I might play percussion for somebody if I can't. In 2023.
Good idea, Dylan. Well, you've already given us a great record, and if that's that's where we start with YNYS, then I'm really looking forward to seeing what the project does next. Thanks so much for the session, and thanks so much for the interview, Dylan.
Cheers, thank you.